Imagine this. It's 3 a.m., your bedroom is quiet, and you're wide awake, staring at the ceiling fan spinning lazily. You wonder, why can't I sleep like I used to? Instead of feeling frustrated, what if those wake-ups are your body's way of speaking to you? Science shows over 60% of adults over 65 experience early morning awakenings, yet most think it's just aging. The truth? It's not a flaw, it's a signal. Your body, habits, or even your heart might be nudging you to pay attention. In this video, we're flipping the script, diving into 8 surprising reasons behind those 3 a.m. wake-ups, from health hiccups to sneaky lifestyle traps. Each reason uncovers something deeper about you, not just your sleep, but your life. We'll share stories like yours, practical fixes that don't feel like chores, and insights to make those quiet hours feel less lonely. By the end, you won't just sleep better. You'll see those wake-ups as chances to live better. Ready to rethink the night? Let's explore what your 3 a.m. is really trying to tell you together. 1. Sleep apnea. Picture yourself waking up at 3 a.m., heart racing, gasping for air, the quiet of your bedroom suddenly feeling heavy. You shake it off, thinking it's just another quirk of getting older. But what if it's something more? Sleep apnea, a condition where your breathing pauses during sleep, is often the hidden culprit behind those jarring wake-ups. It's more common than you think. Studies show about 1 in 4 adults over 65 deal with it. When your airway briefly closes, oxygen levels drop, and your brain jolts you awake to breathe, often without you even realizing why. It's not just a bad night's sleep. It can leave you groggy, cranky, or even raise risks for heart trouble. The extra pounds we sometimes carry as we age, or the way our throat muscles relax more, make it sneakier. Take Henry, a 70-year-old retired mechanic from Indiana. He'd wake up around 3:15 a.m., feeling like he'd run a marathon, though he couldn't pinpoint why. His wife noticed his loud snoring would stop, followed by gasps. A doctor's visit confirmed sleep apnea. Henry started using a CPAP machine, a small device that keeps airways open with gentle air pressure. He also tried sleeping on his side, propping pillows just right, and joined a local walking group to shed 12 pounds. It wasn't instant, but within weeks, those 3 a.m. wake-ups faded, and Henry felt sharper during the day. He wasn't fighting his body anymore. He was working with it. Sleep apnea isn't something to brush off. It's your body waving a flag, asking for help. The good news? Simple steps can make a big difference. Talk to your doctor about a sleep study. It's often just one night wearing a monitor at home. If CPAP feels daunting, small changes like adjusting your sleep position or losing a bit of weight, maybe 5 to 10 pounds, can ease symptoms. Henry even swapped his recliner naps for morning walks around the park, which helped more than he expected. Those wake-ups aren't a life sentence. They're a nudge to listen closer. Imagine slipping into bed knowing you've got a plan, not just to sleep through the night, but to wake up feeling like yourself again, ready for coffee on the porch or a chat with the grandkids. It's not about fixing a broken system. It's about understanding what your body's trying to say. Those 3 a.m. gasps could be the start of something better, a chance to rest deeper and live fuller. So next time you jolt awake, don't blame the clock. It might just be your ticket to better health. 2. Medication-induced circadian rhythm disruption. Waking up at 3 a.m., feeling oddly alert, like your body's ready to start the day when it's still pitch dark. That's a puzzle many face as they age. For some, the answer lies in the little pills they take every day. Medications for blood pressure, heart conditions, or even mood can quietly nudge your internal clock off track, making those early morning wake-ups more common. Research suggests nearly half of adults over 65 take multiple prescriptions, and some, like diuretics or beta blockers, can spark side effects. Think frequent bathroom trips or a racing heart that pull you out of sleep. Others, like certain antidepressants, might rev up your brain just when it should be winding down. It's not your fault, and it's not always obvious the pills are to blame. Consider Ellen, a 69-year-old retired librarian from Oregon. She'd hit the pillow at 10 p.m., only to wake at 3:30 a.m., her mind buzzing, feeling restless but not stressed. For months, she chalked it up to aging until she mentioned it at her annual checkup. Her doctor realized Ellen's evening blood pressure meds were causing her to get up for bathroom breaks, breaking her sleep cycle. They switched her dose to morning, cutting her nighttime water intake to about a cup after 7 p.m. Ellen also started a simple evening routine, 10 minutes of stretching while listening to a calm podcast to ease her body into rest. It wasn't magic, but those wake-ups dropped from nightly to once a week, and she felt steadier in the mornings, ready for her garden or a call with her daughter. The kicker? Medications don't always advertise their sleep-stealing side effects, but your body feels them. It's like a clock ticking slightly out of sync, and those 3 a.m. jolts are it trying to reset. Talking to your doctor can help. Maybe it's tweaking when you take your pills or swapping one for another with less impact. Small lifestyle shifts make a difference too. Ellen learned to sip less coffee after lunch, since caffeine can amplify some meds' effects. And she keeps a notepad by her bed to jot down stray thoughts, settling her mind. It's not about overhauling your life. It's about fine-tuning it. Those wake-ups aren't a sign you're broken. They're a hint something's out of balance. Picture this. Instead of tossing and turning, you drift back to sleep, waking at 6 a.m. feeling rested, maybe even sneaking in a sunrise walk. It starts with one conversation, your doctor, your pharmacist, and a little curiosity about what your body's saying. Those pills keep you healthy, but with a small tweak, they can let you sleep better too, giving you more energy for the things you love, like a quiet breakfast or a good book. 3. Impact of technology and blue light. Waking up at 3 a.m., blinking into the darkness, feeling like your brain switched on when it should be off. It's a frustrating riddle. For many, the culprit's hiding in plain sight. The glow of screens you're glued to before bed. Phones, tablets, and TVs give off blue light, a sneaky disruptor that tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, messing with the hormone that helps you sleep. Studies show folks over 65 now spend about 4 hours a day on devices, from catching up on news to binge-watching shows, and that blue light can cut your deep sleep short, leaving you wide awake in the wee hours. It's not just about staying up late. It's about how that glow lingers in your system, making your 3 a.m. wake-ups feel like clockwork. Take Clara, a 73-year-old retired nurse from Ohio. She loved winding down with her tablet, scrolling through recipes or watching nature documentaries until 10 p.m. But every night, like a switch, she'd wake at 3:15 a.m., alert but groggy, unable to drift back. A friend mentioned blue light, and Clara connected the dots. She started shutting off her tablet by 8 p.m., swapping it for a paperback mystery novel under a soft lamp. When she couldn't resist checking her email, she wore blue light blocking glasses, keeping them on her nightstand. Clara also moved her phone to the kitchen, far from her bedroom, to avoid those late-night notification checks. It wasn't instant, but within a couple of weeks, her 3 a.m. wake-ups dropped to once or twice a week, and mornings felt brighter, literally. She'd sip coffee on her porch, feeling rested, not frazzled. The thing is, your eyes get more sensitive as you age, and even a little screen time can throw off your sleep rhythm. It's like leaving a window open when you're trying to stay warm. Small, but it matters. You don't have to ditch your shows or gadgets. Just tweak when and how you use them. Try setting a screen curfew, say 2 hours before bed, and keep your bedroom a tech-free zone. If you love your evening news, dim the TV's brightness or stream it earlier. Clara even taped a sticky note to her tablet, off by 8, as a reminder. Those wake-ups aren't your enemy. They're your body saying it needs a break from the digital buzz. Picture sliding into bed, knowing your brain's ready to rest, not race. It's not about going back to the Stone Age. It's about giving your eyes and mind a chance to unwind. Next time you're tempted to scroll, think of Clara, now sleeping deeper, waking to birds instead of worry, ready for a walk with her grandkids. A small shift can light the way to better nights. 4. Consumption of caffeine or alcohol in the afternoon, evening. Waking up at 3 a.m., feeling restless, like your body's ready to start the day when the world's still asleep. It's a strange jolt that can leave you puzzled. Often the answer's in your daily habits, specifically that afternoon coffee or evening glass of wine. Caffeine, found in coffee, tea, or even soda, keeps your brain buzzing longer than you might think, especially as you age. Studies show caffeine can linger in your system for up to 8 hours, and for folks over 65, it hits harder, making deep sleep elusive. Alcohol's no better. It might help you nod off, but it fragments your sleep, triggering wake-ups around 3 a.m. when your body's processing it. About 1 in 3 older adults enjoys a daily caffeinated drink after noon, not realizing it's stealing their rest. Take Alice, a 71-year-old retired florist from Arizona. She loved her 2 p.m. iced coffee from the local cafe and a small glass of Chardonnay with dinner. But every night, she'd wake at 3:10 a.m., heart fluttering, unable to settle back. She thought it was just her age until a neighbor mentioned caffeine's long reach. Alice switched her coffee to decaf after noon, savoring herbal tea instead. Chamomile became her favorite. She also swapped her wine for sparkling water with a splash of lemon, especially on weeknights. To keep evenings calm, she started a short walk around her cul-de-sac after dinner, about a quarter mile, just enough to ease her mind. It wasn't a quick fix, but after a couple of weeks, those 3 a.m. wake-ups dropped to once or twice a week. Alice noticed she woke at 6 a.m. feeling refreshed, ready to tend her roses or call her son. The thing is, your body gets pickier with age. What felt fine at 50 can throw you off at 70. Caffeine and alcohol aren't villains. It's about timing. Cutting back after lunch doesn't mean giving up flavor. You can still enjoy a warm drink or a fancy mocktail. Alice keeps a pitcher of fruit-infused water in her fridge, a trick she loves sharing at book club. Those wake-ups aren't random. They're your body hinting it needs a gentler evening. Picture this. You sip a decaf latte at your favorite spot, dine with a clear head, and slide into bed knowing you've set yourself up for solid rest. It's not about big sacrifices. It's about small swaps that add up. Alice now sleeps deeper, her mornings brighter, maybe even sneaking in a sunrise yoga stretch. Next time you reach for that coffee or wine, think of her and how a little tweak can mean waking to birdsong, not a racing heart, ready for whatever the day brings. 5. Lack of daytime physical activity. Waking up at 3 a.m., tossing in the quiet of your bedroom, feeling restless when you'd rather be dreaming, it's a frustration that can feel all too familiar. Often the reason lies in how you spend your days, specifically how much you move. As we age, it's easy to slip into quieter routines, maybe lounging with a crossword or watching daytime shows, but too little physical activity can leave your body with extra energy, making deep sleep harder to hold on to. Research shows about 40% of adults over 65 get less than the recommended 150 minutes of weekly movement, and that stillness can lead to shallow sleep, with wake-ups around 3 a.m. when your body's ready to stir. Moving more doesn't mean running marathons. It's about gentle, steady activity to tire you out just right. Take Betty, a 70-year-old retired bank teller from Colorado. She spent her days knitting by the window or catching up on soaps, rarely leaving her cozy chair. Night after night, she'd wake at 3:30 a.m., not stressed, just unable to drift back. A friend suggested her body might need more action, so Betty tried something simple, a 15-minute walk around her local park each morning, about a half-mile loop. She also joined a senior chair yoga class at the community center twice a week, stretching for 30 minutes with folks her age. It felt awkward at first. She hadn't exercised in years, but after a month, those 3 a.m. wake-ups faded to once a week. Betty woke at 6 a.m. feeling rested, even tackling her garden with new pep. The trick is, your body craves a rhythm, like a clock that needs winding. Without enough movement, it doesn't know when to fully shut down. You don't need a gym membership. Small steps count. A short stroll after lunch, maybe a quarter mile, or 10 minutes of stretching while the radio plays can signal your body to rest deeper later. Betty started parking farther from the grocery store, adding a few extra steps, maybe 100 yards, and it added up. Those wake-ups aren't your body betraying you. They're a nudge to get moving, even a little. Imagine this. You spend your day with a light walk, feeling the sun, then sink into bed knowing you've earned your rest. It's not about becoming an athlete. It's about giving your body what it needs to sleep soundly. Betty now loves her morning routine, swapping groggy nights for days where she's ready for coffee with friends or a game with her grandkids. Next time you're tempted to skip that walk, think of her and how a few steps can lead to peaceful nights, waking to a sunrise instead of a restless hour. 6. Lifestyle habits that shift your sleep rhythm. Waking up at 3 a.m., staring into the dark, feeling like your body's on its own schedule. It's a quiet mystery that can leave you puzzled. Sometimes the answer's woven into your everyday habits, those small routines that seem harmless but nudge your sleep out of sync. As we age, many of us eat dinner earlier, settle into the evening sooner, and spend less time bustling around, signaling our bodies to wind down long before bedtime. Studies suggest about 1 in 3 adults over 65 eat dinner before 6 p.m., which can trick your internal clock into thinking night's already here, pushing your wake-up time to the pre-dawn hours. Add in calm evenings, maybe just the hum of the TV, and your body's ready to sleep by 8 p.m., leaving you alert at 3 a.m. Take Frank, a 72-year-old retired electrician from Florida. He'd have supper at 5 p.m., watch a baseball game, and doze off in his recliner by 8:30 p.m. Like clockwork, he'd wake at 3:10 a.m., wide awake, wondering why the birds weren't even chirping yet. He didn't feel stressed, just out of place. A neighbor pointed out his early routine might be the culprit, so Frank made some tweaks. He pushed dinner to 6:30 p.m., adding a small snack like a handful of almonds around 8 p.m. to keep his blood sugar steady. No more midnight dips that could rouse him. Instead of nodding off early, he took a 10-minute stroll around his block, about a quarter mile, after eating, and read a magazine under a bright lamp to stay alert longer. It wasn't a complete overhaul, but after a few weeks, his 3 a.m. wake-ups dropped to a couple times a month. Frank woke closer to 5:30 a.m., feeling ready for his morning coffee on the patio. Your body loves patterns, and when your days tilt too quiet or early, it resets your sleep to match, like a clock running fast. The fix isn't tough. Small shifts can realign things. Try eating a bit later, maybe 6 p.m., or stay engaged in the evening with a light hobby, like puzzles or a chat with a friend. Frank started calling his daughter after dinner, just 15 minutes, and it helped stretch his evening. Those wake-ups aren't a curse. They're your body hinting it needs a new rhythm. Picture slipping into bed at 10 p.m., knowing you've paced your day to sleep soundly. It's not about forcing change. It's about guiding your body gently. Frank's now out watering his lawn at dawn, not staring at the ceiling, ready for a day of fishing or grandkid visits. Next time you eat dinner at 5, think of him and how a little tweak can mean waking to sunlight, not shadows. 7. Emotional and psychological restlessness. Waking up at 3 a.m., lying in the stillness of your bedroom with thoughts swirling like leaves in a breeze, it's a quiet moment that can feel heavy. Sometimes it's not your body, but your heart and mind stirring you awake, sifting through memories or worries that slip out when the world's hushed. As we age, the busy days of work and family often fade, leaving more space for reflection, and studies show about 1 in 4 adults over 65 feel a sense of loneliness that can ripple into sleep. It's not always loud anxiety, more like a soft hum of longing, maybe for old friends, past joys, or someone to share the silence. Those 3 a.m. wake-ups can become a stage for thoughts you didn't know were waiting. Take Evelyn, an 80-year-old widow from Virginia. By day, she kept busy tending her backyard roses, chatting with her grandkids over the phone, or catching her favorite cooking shows. But at 3:15 a.m., she'd wake, her mind drifting to her late husband, their Sunday drives, his laugh, or to small worries she brushed off in daylight. At first, she thought her sleep was just breaking down, but she realized her heart was asking for attention. Evelyn started keeping a small journal by her bed, jotting down a few thoughts when she woke. Nothing fancy, maybe a memory or a hope for tomorrow. She also carved out an evening ritual, 15 minutes of soft music, sometimes a call to her daughter, or writing a quick note to a neighbor. These weren't big fixes, but they gave her feelings a place to land, and soon her wake-ups dropped to a couple of nights a week. She'd wake at 6 a.m., feeling lighter, ready to water her plants or bake cookies for the kids. Your mind doesn't punch a clock. It picks those quiet hours to sort through life's layers, from joys to losses, that shape who you are. It's not a flaw. It's a sign of a life richly lived. You don't have to silence those thoughts. Just give them a gentle outlet. Try a notebook for stray ideas or a short evening chat with someone close, even 5 minutes. Evelyn joined a local knitting group, meeting weekly for an hour, and those connections eased her nighttime restlessness. Those wake-ups aren't here to haunt you. They're an invitation to listen. Picture this. You wake, write a line or two, then drift back, waking to sunlight with a calmer heart. It's not about erasing the past, it's about honoring it. Evelyn now sleeps deeper, her mornings brighter, maybe sipping tea while watching birds. Next time 3 a.m. calls, think of her and how a small act of care can turn a restless night into a peaceful one, ready for whatever the day holds. 8. Financial or future planning anxiety. Waking up at 3 a.m., your mind buzzing with thoughts that won't quit, like a radio stuck on low. It's an unsettling way to break the night. For many, those wake-ups come from worries about money or what lies ahead, quiet concerns that grow louder when the house is still. As we age, questions about savings, medical bills, or leaving something for the kids can creep in, especially in those dark hours when distractions fade. Studies show about 1 in 5 adults over 65 report stress over finances impacting their sleep, stirring them awake with thoughts they push aside by day. It's not always panic. Sometimes it's just a nagging feeling, like a bill you forgot or a future you can't quite picture. Take Walter, a 78-year-old retired postal worker from Nevada. He'd lie awake at 3:20 a.m., replaying a recent hospital visit's cost, wondering if his retirement fund, about $50,000, would hold up. It wasn't constant dread, but enough to pull him from sleep, leaving him staring at the ceiling. He felt fine during the day, tending his small vegetable garden or playing cards with friends, but nights brought those worries back. A conversation with his son sparked a change. Walter visited a financial advisor at his local community center, free for seniors, who helped him map out his expenses, about $2,000 a month. He started a simple evening habit, writing a short list of next day's priorities, maybe 5 minutes to clear his head. He also tried a 10-minute guided relaxation audio before bed, using a free app on his phone, easing his mind into rest. It wasn't a cure-all, but after a month, his 3 a.m. wake-ups dropped to once or twice a week. Walter woke at 6 a.m., feeling steadier, ready to enjoy his coffee or tinker in his shed. Your mind doesn't need much to start spinning. Those late-night thoughts are just it trying to solve problems. You don't have to fix everything at once. Small steps can quiet the noise. Talking to an advisor, even for an hour, can make the future feel less foggy. Or try jotting down one worry before bed, like Walter did, to let it rest on paper, not in your head. He even joined a seniors discussion group at his library, meeting monthly, where folks shared tips on budgeting. 100 saved here, $50 there. Those wake-ups aren't a trap. They're your mind asking for clarity. Picture this. You close your eyes, knowing tomorrow's plan is set, waking to sunlight with a calmer heart. It's not about erasing worry. It's about managing it. Walter now sleeps deeper, his days brighter, maybe planning a fishing trip with his grandkids. Next time 3 a.m. stirs you, think of him and how a little structure can turn restless nights into peaceful ones, ready for life's next chapter. In general, those 3 a.m. wake-ups aren't just a quirk, they're your body and heart whispering for attention. From sleep apnea to late-night worries, each reason we've explored is a clue to understanding yourself better, not a sign something's wrong. Picture this. Instead of tossing in the dark, you're waking to sunlight, refreshed, ready for coffee on the porch or a laugh with your grandkids. Small steps, like tweaking your evening habits, moving a bit more, or jotting down a thought, can turn restless nights into restful ones. You're not alone. Countless others share this quiet hour, and every nudge is a chance to live fuller. So next time 3 a.m. calls, listen closely. What's it telling you? Try one change, maybe a walk or a talk with your doctor, and watch your mornings brighten. Share your story below. We're in this together, crafting better nights and brighter days.